Welcome back to Forward Progress. It's an NFC East division preview presented by Fanduel right here on Forward Progress. We're going to dive in. We're going to play a little game, stock up, stock down, go through each team's, talk about their win totals and where they're set to finish, what they're looking like to win their division. And this is a fun one here, NFC East, because team we're going to talk about first just won the Super Bowl, Philadelphia Eagles. And I mean, I don't know what more we can talk about the Philadelphia Eagles. I made like a quick little spreadsheet writing down strength, weaknesses of each team. Strengths for the Eagles, I wrote down literally everything. Like they didn't really lose much this offseason. They lost Milton Williams. They lost Josh Sweat. They lost OC Killenmore, but who knows what Kevin Patullo will do for them. Judah, I don't know if it's possible to go stock up for the Philadelphia Eagles, but stock up or stock down for them.
That's right. I guess, as I get to define stock, I'll go stock down. As I sit here recording from Philly, the city's still kind of bursting with excitement for their Eagles. Yeah, I think you said it. Like, this is a kind of sky-high expectation team. Naturally, they won the Super Bowl. Their team was an absolute house last year. I just would say the stock is down. Number one, it's like a reminder of how difficult it is to kind of repeat as champions and the success. And also just to think about how the Eagles did it last year, which was a very distinct style. They don't have, maybe this is controversial. I don't think Jalen Hurts is an elite quarterback. I hope it's not controversial. And they relied really on a terrific defense, which is like defense is generally unstable. Like this is a league with push and pull. There's a lot of kind of small sample things at play. You're probably just not going to get the same season from Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper Jean. Like it's possible you do. It's not necessarily likely. You mentioned they lost a lot of pieces on the defensive line. That's a lot of depth that they lost. It's just very, very hard to sustain that level of success in the NFL. And like the offense itself is still kind of fragile. Like, if Jordan Mailata or Lane Johnson gets hurt, takes a step back, or like AJ Brown or Devonta Smith, like they're really reliant on their top talent. And like, look, obviously the Eagles should be the favorites to win the division, but just for them to repeat the same success as they had last year, I think is just not necessarily as likely as kind of our minds like to tell us it is, because things change very, very quickly in the NFL. And like, it is not as though they have an elite quarterback that's going to kind of hide a lot of their flaws. So because I get to define the stock and I'm saying the stock is very high and then the markets are certainly buying in, I'm gonna have to say stock down.
All right, and the Eagles right now listed win total at 11.5 minus 110 to both sides. Judah, I hope you're not staying in Philadelphia for too long because you might be dodging some tomatoes throughout the streets there if they get wind of this video. Let's move on to the next team, second team here, second most favorite team to win the division, the Washington Commanders, who kind of blew me out of the water last year. We didn't really know how good Jane Daniels was going to be. Solidified himself as a game-breaking quarterback. Again, we talked about this with some other teams. It all hinges on Jane Daniels here. But, Cliff Kingsbury looks pretty good as an offensive coordinator. Their defense maybe played a little bit above their head, so there might be some regression there. But again, this offense is built to potentially boat race teams. They get Deebo Samuel in. Tell me what your thoughts are on the Commanders here. Stock up or stock down?
Yeah, I think it's kind of as you said. Like, I think stock neutral. Like everyone kind of knows the sort of upside case. Like, I think it is equally likely that Jaden Daniels takes a step further as it is that he takes a step back. Probably more likely that he gets better. Like, this is still like quarterbacks tend to get better from years 1 to 2 and 2 to 3. They obviously also, like, Laremy Tunsil is a huge acquisition to kind of anchor the left side of the line there. They have a lot of continuity on the coaching staff, right? Like getting to have the same OC in year 2 after that sort of success as a rookie is not necessarily very common. And I think that like this is a Washington team that Jaden Daniels is top 5 quarterback. Like they're going to be carried by him. And yes, the defense did overproduce, but I also would not discount like Dan Quinn's effect on that defense. And like even look at what the Cowboys did with a like somewhat similar cast of characters. Had a huge drop off from their sort of production between like 2021 and 2023 as they did in 2024 as Dan Quinn left. So I think he's going to elevate that defense. And this is a Washington team that, they still have some deficiency, I guess, on the offensive side of the ball at wide receiver. Like, I'm not loving that they're trotting out Noah Brown and Curtis Samuel right now. Maybe that changes in the draft. Terry McLaurin, a stud right now, but he's getting up there in age. I guess the wheels can come off there. But I'm neutral on this team. I think Jaden Daniels is a terrific quarterback. Can likely only be getting better. I like that what the coaching staff has done here. Very excited to see what Washington's going to deliver in 2025.
Yeah, and plus 230 for them to win the division here, and their win totals listed at 9.5, again, minus 110 to both sides. Before we get into our next two teams, just want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors over at Fanduel. It might be the offseason, but if you want to bet on the NFL draft and NFL futures, FanDuel is your place to go for the action. Listen, the NFL draft is right around the corner. And if you want to bet on who's going first overall, who's going second overall, who the first quarterback taking off the board is, who the first running back taking off the board is, and many more prop bets, be sure to check out FanDuel Sportsbook for all your draft prop needs. Just visit fanduel.com/forward progress to download America's #1 sportsbook. That's fanduel.com/forward progress. All right. Up next, this division is kind of split down the middle with two teams who are in it and two teams who just most likely are not. And the next team on the list here is the Dallas Cowboys, listed at plus 700 to win the division. Completely new coaching staff here. Schottenheimer promoted from OC to head coach. Eberflus comes in to be their defensive coordinator. They still have somewhat, I want to say, of an offensive floor. You have Dak Prescott. You have CeeDee Lamb, and you still have, some pieces on the defensive side of the ball as well. But I mean, it feels like things are trending down here for the Dallas Cowboys. They didn't really spend much in free agency. They didn't do that either last year. Kind of missed on their draft picks last year as well. Tell me your opinion on the Dallas Cowboys. Stock up or stock down?
Yeah, stock down. I wanted to almost be high, at least relative to where I thought the market would be. But this is a team I think that has like two really elite players in CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons, and the rest is kind of a disaster. And both of them, they do play strong link positions, which matters a lot. But at the same time, like the roster is almost devoid of talent elsewhere. Like I would not discount Jordan Lewis, their slot corner last year, has been terrific for them for a couple of years now. He's gone. Like DeRon Bland and Trevon Diggs are still there at cornerback, but I think kind of their name almost supersedes their actual production. They have not been good in terms of their separation. And yeah, like, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if Dallas like drafts a wide receiver at, what are they picking, like 12 right now? 12 or 13. I would not be shocked to see them take a receiver, but like as it currently stands, like Jalen Tolbert has been a huge disappointment. We're 3 years in here. Like Jalen Brooks was a disaster. Like these guys are bad. The kind of Cowboys of the last 10 years you associate with like really good offensive line, like that is atrophied very quickly. They've got a lot of weak links there. It's just like Prescott's fine. He's just had a lot of injuries over the years. There's not so much to work with. I think it's just not a good roster, plain and simple. Like there's only so much I think Parsons and Lamb can do that I don't see any real ceiling here at all, unless like they really, really, really hit on the draft. But from where things stand right now, I think this is one of the worst rosters in football.
Yeah, fair enough. And their regular season win total right now listed at 7.5, juice towards the under minus 120. The over is at plus 100. Yeah, you mentioned their offensive line atrophying completely. They did spend a first round pick and a third round pick last year on Guyton and Beebe, but who knows if they'll take a step. If they don't, this is going to be a disaster because those two were kind of terrible last year in terms of offensive line production. Finally, let's get into our last team. We got the New York Giants with, I mean, listen, when I put this stuff together, I kind of don't really remember all the hirings and all the firings and who's still there, I just look at myself and see this coaching staff. And I say, how the hell are these guys still here? How's Brian Daboll still there? How's Mike Kafka still there? How is Shane Bowen still there? The New York Giants listed at 28-1 to win their division. Listen, there's not much to like this team other than Malik Nabers. You sign Russell Wilson, you get a cheap quarterback. Other than that, I mean, they've invested so much into their defense. They weren't that good last year. This is the year for them for this defense to kind of peak, and they're still listed at like 28-1 to win their division. I mean, things aren't looking too good for the New York Giants here. It wasn't good last year, so is it a potentially stock up scenario? They've bottomed out and they're coming back up, or are they still stock down?
Yeah, I think it's stock up relative to, again, I'll define stock here as the market. And like, it is true that like you're not winning a Super Bowl, I don't think at this point with Russell Wilson or Jameis Winston, but like there's a big difference between the production they got from Daniel Jones and like Tommy DeVito to like what you should anticipate with Wilson slash Winston. And I do think this team has some like pretty sneaky talent. I mean, like we'll see if Andrew Thomas can stay on the field, but he's been a stud at left tackle whenever he's there. You obviously mentioned Malik Nabers, who's a terrific wide receiver. Darius Slayton, I think one of the more underrated guys in the NFL, but that's not, I think, excuse me, not guys in the NFL, receivers in the NFL. And like, look, this is not a good offense, but I think it like has some sort of floor, which compared to what they had last year, compared to what I think the market is pricing in, is certainly higher. But what I think is like really intriguing is the defense. That like Drew Phillips was a revelation for them last year. He was terrific. They brought in Paulson Adebo, which is like he's not great, but I think he's like an average body. Deontay Banks has struggled, but and I'm building in some projection that they'll draft a guy like Abdul Carter here. But like this could be a ferocious defensive line. If you combine Dexter Lawrence, Abdul Carter, Brian Burns, like you're gonna have to leave one of those guys single team. And they have depth there with Kayvon Thibodeau too. That like I think this has the potential to be a very good defense. In addition to just like an offense that's going to have some floor. So look, do I think the Giants are making a playoff run? No. Do I think that they could not very easily? Do I think there's a real possibility of them winning 7 games? Absolutely. And as we've defined our stocks here, I'm going to have to say that stock up. Like there's too much floor for this team. Like Russell Wilson is not the 32nd best quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
And this defense is not going to be the worst in the NFL. There's too much talent. That I think this is kind of just going to be a mid team, and that's stock up for us.
All right, I love it. New York Giants win total right now sitting at 5.5. Juice towards the under, -150 towards the under here, +125. Knowing you, I feel like you're going to wait for some alt totals to come out. Maybe you'll take a stab at the over 6.5 there when we get it. But yeah, I think you mentioned my favorite word that you mentioned previously, frisky. And that I think applies to this New York Giants team where they could be a little bit frisky. Before we close out the show though, Judah, do me a quick favor. Give me your favorite bet on the board right now. It can be a division. It could be to win the division. It could be the win totals, maybe the New York Giants over 5.5 wins. Tell me what you like and why.
Yeah, it is going to be Giants. It would be Giants alt wins, but yeah, I'll still take Giants over 5.5. I just think this is look, you could have gotten this at 4.5 at open. But I think it just goes to show where kind of the expectations are. Like there's too much of a base and depth for this team, right? Like even if their quarterback goes down, they've got someone who is not great, but is like in sort of that 20s range of quarterbacks. I think this defense is going to be pretty solid. I think Daboll's a good coach. Wasn't given exactly the best of recipes to work with. He certainly has an incentive to win this year. Like they're going all out. There's no tank job at play here unless these guys get fired after a poor start. So too much floor. I think it kind of lends itself to medians as well. So Giants over 5.5 if I had to right now.
+120 available on Fanduel. And that wraps it up for us here today. If you made it this far, guess what? That means you like this content. So please do us a favor. Smash that like button down below. And while you're there, drop us a little comment who you think is going to win the division. Maybe any bets you like given the current odds on the board right now, or just general thoughts on the division. If you thought maybe what I said was stupid, or if you thought what Judah said was stupid, let us know in the comment section down below, especially if you're from Philadelphia. But anyways, if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you do so you don't miss out on our latest content. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you in the next one.